Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well. Today for video number 3. Video number 3. When was the last time we done a triple upload? It's been flipping ages. Well guys, go and have a look at the other 2 videos. I've done a video on Disassi and Sterling and the news that was coming out, the way that Enzo Maresca spoke about them in the press conference as well. Go and check that out. And go and check out the fantastic 100% Chelsea reunion that we had on here earlier on between myself, son of Chelsea, Daniel Childs, and Louis Beneventi, the old 100% Chelsea squad. And the last time we all done a video together was over a decade ago. So go and check that out. That was done earlier on today. We've also done a video over on Louis' channel, so on the Chelsea Echo. Make sure you're going to have a look there as well. But let's get into this monumental match preview. Oh boy, I don't feel like I've gotten over the Bayern Munich game yet. And all of a sudden now we're playing Manchester United at Old Trafford and we're playing tomorrow. Which, by the way, make sure you're there for Shootout. Actually, go into the description. Link to Shootout is right there, first link. And you'll be able to catch our Premier League predictions that has been uploaded today. Go and have a look at all the games that we've predicted. And our Champions League review as well, we done earlier this morning. So go and check that out. But tomorrow on there, we are doing the watch long from the Belgian Beer Cafe here in Barsha Heights in Dubai with the Chelsea Supporters Club of the UAE. It's going to be crazy because even the time, it's going to be 8:30 p.m. here, which means that everyone's going to be able to attend. It's going to be rammed tomorrow. So make sure you're there because the watch long is going to be popping. Catch the watch long there, and then the reaction will be here. But Manchester United, Chelsea, Old Trafford. This is going to be a very easy match review to do. Match preview, sorry, not review. I hope what I've just said is a good omen for tomorrow. Yeah, I hope what just slipped out is a great omen. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be an easy day at the office. Yeah, please, Chelsea, please. Let it be an easy match review. I want to be able to come onto the match review tomorrow and be like, guys, what was that? Please, because it's been 13 years, guys. It's been 13 years. Yes, 13 years. 13 years since the 12-13 season, since we went to Manchester United and won. 13 years. To put it into perspective, this is very fitting. The last time we won at Old Trafford, 100% Chelsea didn't exist. It didn't exist. That channel that we've done a reunion for, right? That didn't exist. We didn't even start that. We started that the next season after Jose returned. Yeah, that was the 13-14 season was when we started 100% Chelsea. The 12-13 season, it didn't exist. I had my old channel. I had David Luiz here. You know, last time we won at Old Trafford, we had Frank Lampard still balling out for us. Like, what? This has to end. This has to stop. And it's not just like, okay, look, Manchester United at Old Trafford, it's a tough ground to go to. We've not been able to get it done over there in so long. But we're playing this Manchester United, guys. This Man United. The Man United that can't pluck out something out of thin air. The Man United that couldn't organize a prayer in a mosque right now. That Man United. We have to win. We have to win. Against Brentford, the way that we let things go at the very end, despite coming back from behind, was very... It was like a stab in the back. It was like, low blow. Shouldn't happen. The way we lost to Bayern Munich, very naive mistakes. Shouldn't happen. But you look at them and you go, but it's okay, we can rectify those. We could not lose to Man United at Old Trafford. There's no rectifying. Like, we can't. Not this United. This United that at home struggled to Burnley. Struggled and were lucky to pluck out a win. The United that got knocked out in the second round of the EFL Cup by Grimsby. Grimsby. The Man United that were totally outplayed for fun by Man City. For fun. It wasn't even a debate. And this is Man City that have not been playing well. They've not been looking good. They show up against Man United. Yeah, don't worry, it's fine. You're going to make us look good. And they did just that. We have to go to Old Trafford And we have to remember one thing, and I hope this is how the players are going to be thinking about this. Do not go into this fixture. Do not go into Old Trafford and all of a sudden think psychologically, oh, it's Old Trafford, it's Manchester United. No, 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 throw that away. Throw that away. It's not Manchester United. It's not Old Trafford. It was Manchester United. It was Old Trafford. Now it's Man United. It's Old Trafford. Look at it. That's what it is now. And I mean that respectfully. I don't mean that in a way to mock. But what I mean it is the state of the club is not at the level like what Man United used to be. It's not, and even United fans know that. Even they know that. You can't tell me that the way that Man United are operating is the same as the Manchester United that was operating the last time they beat us at Old Trafford. No, the last time we won at Old Trafford. That Man United from Alex Ferguson back then, that was Man United. That was Manchester United. When you rock up to Old Trafford back then, that was Old Trafford, a fortress that you felt, you know, a fortress that didn't have a leaky roof, a fortress that didn't have blocked up toilets, a fortress that didn't have rats running through their kitchens, a fortress that didn't have things in the stadium that are broken. Now, everything that I just listed is exactly how things are at Old Trafford and how things are at Man United. Don't let that old image of United scare you, because they're not the same. We need to go into tomorrow's fixture. And I say this respectfully, because the one constant that Man United have is the fan base. That's the one constant. Showing up to Old Trafford tomorrow, the vibe in the ground can be lifted by the fan base. And because it's Man United Chelsea, in isolation, the fans will be up for it. But we have a chance to kill it. We have a chance to kill it. Get the first goal, and it'll be dead. That's it. Get the first goal. Get the first goal, you'll cut the snake's head off. You'll cut the snake's head off. Because psychologically, they are so brittle right now, Man United, their players, their team, Ruben Amorim, they can't get an idea from a flipping Einstein if he existed. They couldn't get an idea from him. They can't buy an idea right now. They ain't got a clue. So we need to act with aggression and a defiance. We're going to rock up there, get the first goal. We're going to kill them. Kill them. Because if we don't, this is where the game in isolation, Manchester United, Chelsea, if the game goes on longer and United start to get some belief and the fans start to get loud, the psychology of the game can change. And then that can come back to bite us. That can. This is an entire mental game. Tomorrow is a mental game. If you really, really want it, you'll go and get it. They're on a plate. Man United are on a plate. They are on a silver platter right now. It depends whether you want to go and get the knife and fork and dig in. Tuck in. Go on. It's there. Nothing's stopping you. But if you start thinking about how am I going to do this? How am I going to... What angle do I go at this from? But all of a sudden, it becomes unedible. So tomorrow we need to go in with laser focus, tunnel vision. Go in with intent to kill. And I mean that on a footballing standpoint, respectfully, of course. Please don't kill anyone. But you get the gist. We need to go in with that intent. No prisoners. Go straight in. Slaughter. Done. Next. Because they are there for the taking. And we have the quality to go to Old Trafford tomorrow and get the job done. Especially under a manager like Ruben Amorim that is very, very, very stubborn in his ways and doesn't want to change it, even for his own sake. He's willing to die on his hill. He's willing to die on his hill because of his philosophy. He doesn't want to amend. Even if he has players that don't suit the way he plays, even if he has players that are not good enough, even if he's got players that don't understand him, he still wants to go down his own way. Cool, fantastic, because down his own way, I think leaves a lot of space in behind, and I think there's space for our wingers to shine tomorrow. And this is why my starting 11 has been done in a certain way, and I'm going to show you that in a bit. But heading into this fixture, we have all the tools to go to Old Trafford and pick up 3 points with a cigar if we really want to. But there's one thing that we can't afford to do tomorrow, which we've had the past couple of games, Champions League and Premier League, and that's a poor and open defense. We can't. Because as much as we want to come on here and say that United right now are a mess, and like I said, they couldn't organize a prayer in a mosque, they still have individual players that in a moment might just do something. You can't tell me Cunha isn't good enough to do something in a moment. The ball lands to his feet, he whacks it into the top corner. He's capable. Now, he's not going to play because he's injured. But Mbeumo, ball lands to him. He's capable of just hitting it on the volley and it goes in. He's capable. Do not give that sort of player space. Just don't. Just in their faces all the time. Just be in their faces. Just press the hell out of them. They'll rattle. They'll rattle. Why? Because they ain't got the automisms. They ain't got that connection in order to navigate through a really aggressive, thorough press. Because their chemistry's down, they ain't listening to what the manager's telling them, or they're not capable of telling them what the manager's saying, or the manager doesn't want to change anything. The bonds between certain players that aren't quite there. I mean, we're hearing apparently Mason Mount might be playing tomorrow as well. Fantastic, great, let him play, brilliant, because I think we'll run rings around him, if I'm being honest. Those sort of things are our advantage. So as long as we, again, I go back to this point, we control the ball, we control the tempo, we control the pace, and we're in their face, winning the ball off them at all times, and we're not letting them through anything. We need to be tight. Frustrate the hell out of them. They're already weak mentally. Go in for some more. If we do that, we'll win. We'll win. We'll win. But if we don't, because of our own doing, nah, that for me, that will be unacceptable. That will be, heads will be rolling tomorrow. But there's no reason for us not to go there and get 3 points. Absolutely none. So let's go and get 3 points. It's on a plate, like I said. When talking about team news, it seems same old suspects. Cole Palmer's apparently going to be fit. And Maresca did allude to some late fitness tests for some players. Didn't name them by name, but we'll see who's going to be available and who isn't tomorrow. I'm guessing maybe he's talking about Lavia, Badiashile, those sort of players perhaps. But apart from that, let's get into the starting 11, because I know that there's some players that you guys want changed, and I have decided to do things a certain way. So let's get into it. Here's my starting 11. So I've gone, as you can tell, there's one key change that I've made, and I'll explain. But there's also not a change that I think many of you are expecting, and I'll explain in a sec. I've gone Sanchez in goal, who I think, credit to him against Bayern Munich, I thought was brilliant. Sanchez was class. Didn't make any errors, working the ball well, made some brilliant saves, pulled off a couple of worldies. Fair play. So Sanchez in goal. The defense. Now, for me, look, Reece James goes into right back, please. End of story. Can we please just play him at right back? I get when he's playing in midfield. I get, especially against Bayern Munich, I understood that because against PSG in the Club World Cup final, we'd done that and it worked like a charm. But again, that's not going to work against every single opponent, and especially when you're making defensive errors like we did, then that's not really going to help you anyway. But more to my point, why Amrim needs to change something, because he can't just be sticking to his own way. But great if he does, because we'll be here to pick up the pieces tomorrow, so fantastic. But I've gone with Reece James, Cucurella, and I'm keeping the same centre-backs. Now, I'm hearing about the calls for Josh Achiampong. I hear it. I want to give one more game to Tosin and to Chalobah. And I'll explain why. Because I don't want this to turn into a thing where a player has one bad game, change, you're dropped. We can't do that. That's not, especially in the back line. When you're looking at your team, no matter who you are, the central defenders should never change. Realistically, those two should never change because you need those two centre-backs to build the partnership. They need to be playing constantly together in order for them to understand each other. You can't keep chopping and changing centre-backs. But I hear they've not been good enough. I hear that. But they've not been good enough individually at different times. Tosin's had good games, Chalobah has a bad game. Chalobah has good games, Tosin has a bad game. It's never been the case where they're both really bad or they're both really good. This is why I say, you know what? Give them one more game. Because the last game, we had dodgy overall performances against Bayern Munich. It wasn't good. That doesn't mean, okay, just drop them now indefinitely. No. One more game for some continuity. Let them have this one. Let them try and rectify themselves. Because who knows? If they put in a clinic tomorrow, all of a sudden, oh yeah, no, you know what? That's the centre-back pairing we should go with. Well, give it the chance. Give it the chance. Josh Achempong should be looking at this smelling blood. There's an opportunity here coming for him. There is. If we get one more bad game from either of them, at that point, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Look, we've had enough sample size to show that you're not in good form at all. And we can't keep running with that. So at that point, I would look to Josh. And I would even go as far as saying, look, during the game tomorrow, if we get anything dodgy out of either of them, make the change. Second half, make the change. But we'll see. I want to start with both of them for now. The midfield is where I would change. Again, because I do think there is enough sample size and I think there is an alternative. This is something that we can't really say for our centre-backs. There isn't an alternative. You can say, yeah, we'll play Wesley Fofana, but the man's just come out of A&E. You could say, let's play Josh Achempong, but you're going to put that much pressure on him right now? Josh should be the guy that's getting minutes and is starting to adapt. Because don't forget, he was a right-back before. Not a centre-back. He's played at centre-back at youth level. But to just walk in and just, now you're one of the now starting centre-backs for Chelsea, like, he should be getting introduced slowly and getting some minutes, and then we'll be able to compare, and then we'll see who's better, and then you get a run in if you're actually good enough. That is what I think needs to be done with Josh. With the midfield, we've got options. We've got options. So for me, Caicedo has to stick, because it's Caicedo and he's absolutely necessary. But next to him, yeah. As much as I want to say, no, you know what? Enzo is looking fitter. He's looking sharper. But overall, his performances, I don't want to come on and say they've stunk. I think some people just have an agenda on Enzo Fernandez. But I will say he's looked average. Average. He's not put in stinkers, but he's not been brilliant. And right now, I think there's a player that is doing better than average. And that's Andre Santos. So for me, Andre Santos starts. And every time we brought on Andre Santos, and we know that Andre Santos can play alongside Caicedo, and they do have a good dynamic. We saw what happened when he came on against Bayern Munich. He's the one that supplied the through ball into Cole Palmer, who was offside. Just. You know? Andre Santos has a very, very efficient way of playing. You know, he can do the same job as what we expect from Enzo. So we have the option. So you know what? Tomorrow I want to see it. On top of that, I think he's actually really technical on the ball. I think he's happy to drive. He's happy to go into spaces. He's got good vision. He's got a good pass. He combines well with Caicedo, like I said. I think I would trust Andre Santos to start tomorrow and let Enzo have a little bit of a breather. Let him reflect for a game or so. But this is an opportunity for Andre Santos, who we, I think, all see is actually good enough. We already know this. With our centre-back situation and Josh Achempong, it's almost like, no, we think he is. And especially because he's come from the academy, we have that extra connection, like, we want him to do well. With Andre Santos, it's a bit of a given. We know what he's capable of. And we saw that even last year at Strasbourg on loan. He looked fantastic. Andre Santos, I would start alongside Caicedo tomorrow. I think he's ready. Cole Palmer goes back into the 10. And goes back into the 10 because we must, I don't care, must have Esteval starting. I heard what Enzo Maresca said in the press conference, and I get his logic. His logic is that, look, he's 18. He needs some time. Let's ease him in. With most 18-year-olds, I agree. I agree. Hence the logic that I have for Josh Achiempong, he's come from the academy. He doesn't even need much adapting. But Esteval is ready, man. He's ready. He's ready. Every time he's played, every single time we've had him play, whether he started or he's come off the bench, he's not put in one stinker. Not one. He's not even made a mistake. He gets the ball, yep, boom, he's gone. Dribble 1, 2, pass, layoff, 1, 2. But bro, he knows. I trust him. And we need him. Like I said, why? Manchester United under Amorim, I think, are going to be leaving space in behind. Especially when they play their back three and their wing backs go forward. They're not going to be set up in a way where their wing backs are just sat back doing nothing and they're just going to park with a back five. That's just not what they're doing. They are trying to get Dorgu, Mazraoui, whoever it is on those flanks to move up. And with that back three, I think with Cole Palmer, with Pedro Neto, who I've picked as the left-hand side, absolutely no problem, and João Pedro up front, I think those four can terrorize those three. Completely. Especially from our flanks. So especially when you're talking about these two, right? You're talking about Esteval and Neto. And this is why I look at Esteval. I think Esteval will twist up their defense. Pedro Neto is someone that likes to maybe run at a defense, like to cut in a little bit, provide a cross, maybe likes to go on the outside flank, provide a cross, maybe link with a 1-2. Esteval is the sort of guy, it's like just sending the ball. If the ball gets to him, leave him to it. Leave him to it. He'll be the sort of guy to literally twist up two Man United central defenders at the same time and go on and score. He's capable of that. We need that. Because if we find that space in behind, whether it's a cross diagonal, it's a ball over the top, or it's a through ball, it's someone providing from the half space, I think Esteval runs onto that, he's scoring. He's scoring. And I want to put a little bit of a tip for you guys. My prediction tomorrow is Esteval scores. That's my prediction tomorrow. I'm calling it. Right? Now, there's that. And João Pedro up top, absolutely, because he has to be up top. And I think with Esteval on the pitch and Palmer in behind, I think that helps João Pedro. We're talking about João Pedro having to drop deeper in order to get involved and to maybe drop to the left in order to try and provide something. When you've got the quality like this around you, you don't need to. You can stay up and just focus on getting the service and focus on scoring, which he can finish. I think it just helps everyone. Esteval needs to be on the pitch, Cole Palmer needs to be behind Pedro needs to be up top, and Neto needs to be on the pitch, and I think we're good. Now, I will add something else before we end. Garnacho needs to come on later on in the game. I've got a feeling Garnacho's going to start. I'm just going to tell you that now. I think Maresca's going to start him, but this is what I would do. I would start with this, get the game under control, bring on Garnacho for about half an hour. I'd take off Pedro Neto. Or even if the job has been done, you want to take off Esteval, but we need Esteval to come on and we need him to start and set the level from the get-go. We need to try and kill the game early. Bring on Garnacho. And I swear, if Garnacho scores at Old Trafford and goes off and does his celebration, where he sits on the edge and he sits on the advertising board and he does his whole at Old Trafford in a Chelsea shirt, Man United, it will be time to liquidate your football club. Liquidate. I've been waiting for Arsenal to liquidate because I was saying we're going to get to a league title before them. But I might have to move that and say, Arsenal, you're safe. We might have to liquidate United first. If Garnacho dunks on you tomorrow, this is a warning. If Garnacho scores tomorrow, it's over for you lot. It's over. It's actually over. Properly. Into the car park. Go and meet Saeed in the car park. Actually, we might have to destroy the car park as well. Then we have to destroy all that as well. Saeed also said he's willing to now head into the tunnels. Like, forget car parks. He's now willing to head into the sewers. So, forget meet at the car park, meet in the tunnels, meet in the sewers. To go into some underground system now. You know, you're not to be seen any longer if Garnacho scores. I'm just putting that out there. So, Garnacho, you know what to do, mate. Yeah? Go on. Set the tempo, mate. Set the tempo. You know what to do. So let me know what you think down below. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is my starting 11. Now, predictions. I'm going to be straight up. I did say for the Bayern Munich game 2-2, didn't I? And at one point, that was actually looking likely. When we got to 2-1, I was like, you know what? This might actually finish 2-2. Well, no, it finished 3-1. Well, talking about 3-1, that's what I think is going to happen tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going 3-1. But to who? Esteval to score. João Pedro to score. Or Cole Palmer. But no, João Pedro. I think Cole Palmer's not going to score every game. Esteval, João Pedro. Later on, Garnacho. And then we let one in because our defense won't be completely fixed. So there we are, 3-1. That's my prediction. Let me know your thoughts down below. What are your predictions? What are your lineups? I'd love to hear it. And like I said, tomorrow, make sure you're there for the watch long on Shootout. So subscribe, link in the description. First link right there. Head over there. Go and check out our Premier League predictions like I already mentioned. Be there for the watch long tomorrow. Man United Chelsea live from the Belgian Beer Cafe, where else we catch all the action with the crowd. And it's going to be a mad one. I'll see all of you there. And then I'll be here straight after the game for the match review. So make sure you're here too. Subscribe, notification bell, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Bring on the big day. I'll see you then. Have a good one, people. Look after yourselves. Take care and peace.